Hello, welcome back to the channel. Nigel with you, Nigel's Model Bench, and here we are now back on this Lancaster from Hachette. This is the Dambuster B.III, and now we are on pack 91. If you want to find out more about getting one of these, go and have a look at the YouTube page in the description down below, and you can find out more about it. So here we are now with pack 91. I can't remember what they said on pack. What they do with these magazines, on the back they tell you what's coming next. So I can't remember what's in here, but it's small. So we may need to get the big fuselage out to get or something, I don't know, but I always like to start these videos with a sealed bag where I can. So as usual, we'll have a look at the magazine before we do anything else. So okay, it's the remote control. So we have the remote control. So this is probably going to be 91 and 92 then. There's not going to be a lot going on here. So here we've got Hawker Typhoon, beautiful aircraft. Air scale are on the brink of bringing one out in 32nd scale, and it will be a injection molded airplane with all 3D printed accessories. So the British Typhoon was the heaviest and most powerful single seat, single engine warplane at the time of its design. It's a beautiful aircraft, beautiful aircraft. Battle of the Philippine Sea, that was quite an incredible battle. Japanese naval air power received a fatal blow at the hands of US carrier aircraft. The Zuokaku and 2 destroyers under attack by US Navy aircraft carriers. Aircraft during the late afternoon of the 20th of June 44. Above, a Japanese aircraft carrier goes down after attempting to attack the escort carrier USS Kitkunbei. There's the carrier going down in the background there. And then you can see here's a Japanese aircraft, it looks like, on fire. And then US Army Air Force daylight bombing tactics. They were brave men. Flying to a country almost near the south of the world to go and bomb people that you don't even know who they are in the daylight and get the living daylight shot at you. Incredible, absolutely incredible. 4,754 B-17s were lost over Europe in World War II. Bloody hell. So that's like, what is it, a crew of 7 in a B-17, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's a crew of 9 or 10. So that would have been like in the realms of 40,000 men. Bloody hell. Thomas B. Maguire, P-38 fighter pilot. Maguire was the second highest scoring American ace during World War II, a man of rare ability. And there he is in front of a B-38. And that's it. So that's it. Remote control for operating the model is supplied. Details for assembly operation will be given in a future issue. Thanks for that. Let's have a look. I bet this is just the plastic case or something. Yeah, it's in a little bag. It has a protective plastic cover on it, which it looks like comes off, or does it? I don't know. Yes, it does. And then we've got a 2025 battery. I've got some of them downstairs. I bought accidentally. So you're going to pull that in. Pull that. I'm guessing you pull this thing over. I'm sure they'll tell us in a future issue. But there we are. So we're going to be putting a battery in. Yes, you've got to push that in, but it won't go. Grab a little pointy tool a minute. We've got to make something out of this addition. There we go. The 2025 battery is going to go in there. So there we are. So we've got interior lights, navigation and formation lights, spotlights, landing lights, engine start, landing gear, front turret guns, rear turret guns, and bomb. It's going to have a bomb to drop, is it? Okay, it's interesting. Right, so there we go. So that's that for that one. Okay, let's have a look at pack 92. Right, so here we are, as usual, bag is sealed. We shall open it up and we'll remove the contents. It's quite a big heavy box there. So we'll see what's in there. We've got another bag here. One of the issues with Hachette, the D'Agostini stuff, it always comes delivered in a box, but with Hachette, they tend to put it in a bag, so everything gets sort of wrinkled up and the magazines get really tatty. Whereas if you look at that Ferrari I'm doing, it always comes in a box, so everything's nice and tidy. So work continues on assembling the base for your model. So we've got another side panel there, so we're going to keep that in its box, keep that protected. And we're going to be assembling this. So we've got this all ready, so we're going to be assembling some more. And then we've got these two side pieces have got to go together, and they're just going to be left loose. So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to leave this until we need them, because if we've got these stored and they get knocked, these are MDF with like a coating on them and they get damaged and look really tatty. So I'm not going to be building those now. Armoured cover missions in Normandy. During the advance through France in the summer of '44, the Allies deployed hundreds of ground attack aircraft to support ground units. There we go. There's a P-47 there. Beautiful aircraft. Come on, get open. Right, and then we have Gunther Rahl, the gifted Luftwaffe fighter pilot, easy for you to say, who shot down a staggering 275 enemy aircraft during his World War II service. Bloody hell. There he is with his 109 there. Died in 2009. And then we're back on the plane in the next part, so we're back on the lower fuselage sections. So let's have a look at what we've got in here. So in this box we will have some nice carefully wrapped up parts. There we go. Very beautifully packaged, just like that. So we've got some screws, and we've got this plastic panel here and some screws for that. So as I say, this side cover here is like this coated MDF, and if we build it and store it and it gets knocked, it's going to look awful. So I'll do this bit, but I'm not going to do this bit because I don't want it like this lying around getting damaged or chewed by puppies perhaps. You never know. Okay, so I'm going to go and get the base, and we'll add, this is just one panel to it. This is really pushing the boat out on the building front, isn't it, this week? Blimey. This month, should I say. Right, I'll go and get the base and we'll do this. Alrighty, so I've got the base here in front of me, upside down as it should be. So I've got to take this panel that they've supplied us in this magazine, part 92, and then I'm going to fit this. You can see the yellow circles show the way these go. So that's going to go under there like that. And then those holes will push into there. And then we will grab a screw. Hang on a minute. Is this the correct screw? Yes, it is. Hang on, no, it looks too long. That's a KP screw. So obviously in here we have, are these the JP screws in here? Yes, they are. So we almost messed things up then. Well, I did. I just looked at those screws and that looks a little long. So luckily my suspicious mind got the better of me. Or I got the better of my suspicious mind, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, so that's going to go in there. And then that one's going to go in there. So that's our base coming together. I suppose it'd give us a piece to put on there. And then, in this illustration, the assembly has been turned over. Take the surface mount 89B and identify the fixing points on panels 89A and 92B. Note the orientation of part 89B. The large socket is on the left in this image, fixed in place with 4 KP screws. Now this is into pocket territory now. It's as clear as mud where those holes are. So I'm going to turn this over. So it's like that. I don't want to scrape all those onto the floor. So it's like that in the image. Let's have a look at the image of it done. Okay, this is a little bit clearer. So we've got there. Okay, so this is going to go on there. I think one might be off camera. Where are the screws going? In the corners? Why do they do this black on black stuff? Just bloody line drawings. Okay, so we've got 2 screws there, 2 screws there. So, yeah, Okay, so I'll help you out now, right, because the magazine is useless in this department. People who do these CAD things, they need to realise that when you've got black, you need to bring it to a grey or something, or use things to highlight. So this is basically, you can see on this panel here, okay, so I've got it this way round, so I've got my 2 panels here to the right, and I've got the 6 panels here to the left. So on this panel here, I've got 1, 2 there, and this panel here, we've got 1, 2 there, and that's where this is going to locate. And it's going through, it's going to locate on these faults here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you'll see me put the screws in now. So if you are doing one of these and you're a little bit confused by the instructions, maybe you're not a scale modeler or whatever, and you on the bottom here you've got these large lugs that these are going to go into. So what I'm doing is sliding it around. I'm feeling for it to lock in. There you go. You can feel it lock down on. All right, and then we're going to use 4 of these screws. They're going to cut their own threads, so don't go graunching them up. I think this is going to be a pretty big base, actually. I know the aircraft itself is quite large. There we go. So that's that done. And then we've got 2 spare screws, as always, for our Lancaster screw pot. Okay, so there we go. Right, let's have a look at 93. Right, so 93, let's have a look. What joys this is going to bring. I think this was parts of the fuselage, wasn't it? So we're going to be back on the aircraft now. As I say, don't worry about these wooden bits. We will do them when the time comes, but I'm not going to do them until we're ready to fit them on. And then I'll put them all together, fit them on, and then it can be put down on a table somewhere and just left alone. Because I've got bits of models all over the bloody house. That's been opened before. Wonder why. Right, so looking in the magazine as usual, we've got fuselage panels, we've got some little screws here, so we're going to be fitting. That looks like the back of the bomb bay, and that looks like the back of the fuselage, so I think that's going to flip round and go behind there like that. I'm not sure what that's there for. Right, so you can see we're going to fit the tail well into there. We've got our lights going in, so we're going to be grabbing lots. I'm doing an edit here and you'll see why now. So there we go. Luftwaffe air power in Poland. The air campaign over Poland in September 1939 was tougher than the Luftwaffe had expected. Overwhelming force. When Heinkel He-111 bombers unleashed their payloads on Warsaw, the result was large-scale destruction. Yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible. There's a Stuka there, dive bombing. And Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, what aircraft? That's the bubble top there, and then you get the Razorback, which I think is much more good looking. There's the bubble top. I've got the Razorback in 24th scale actually. Polish pilots on the Battle of Britain. 145 Polish pilots who fought in the Battle of Britain, and it accounted for a staggering 12% of total Luftwaffe losses in the campaign. Blimey. They did well. Okay, and the Polish red and white square insignia on the fuselage of RAF fighters, you can see them there on those Hurricanes, came to symbolise bravery and flying ability. There we go. So let's go back to the build part of the magazine. We've got our box here. As I say, this has already been opened once and taped back again. Oh, they've put the screws on top of there and they've been bashing into that. Look, there's a staple there for some reason. I don't know where that's come from. It's a bit strange, isn't it? There's a staple and there's nothing that's ever been stapled. So Lord only knows where that came from. So we've got a belly there and a bomb bay there. It's going to cover up that big panel we put in last week or last month. So we'll go and get the fuselage and we'll get ready to fit these on. Alright, so first things first, the tail wheel. Okay, so this is going to go underneath here. So we'll use an LM screw, which is supplied with this issue. There's 2 in there, so obviously as usual we've got 1 spare. I'm not going to put the light on because I'll blind you out. So the tail wheel is going to go up under here. It's got a D-shaped pin on it and a D-shaped hole, and it's a nice snug fit, so it sort of clips in there. It's better than the main undercarriage, isn't it? The main undercarriage doors, anyway. Somebody did say they're going to do something about the doors, so it'll be interesting to see. Because I don't think they can leave them as they are, because the undercarriage will not operate, because the doors keep overlapping and locking themselves shut. So there's the tail wheel, nicely done. Okay, and then we've got retrieved the 3 lenses supplied with issue 50 and arranged them in the order as shown, fit them to the pegs on the inside of the part. These are push fit connections, so they shouldn't need to be glued, I think they're saying. So we got red first, so we have red at the front. We have yellow in the middle. They're actually numbered. And we have green at the back. You can hear them sliding in. Notice I didn't push them until I knew, I was sure that was where they were going. Okay, if you try and get them off, they will probably break, because generally clear parts are quite brittle. So there's your 3 lights there, and if I hold it up over the white paper you can see them illuminate. And go over the black and you'll see them go out under there. Right, so there we are. Oh, the tail wheel and 3 lenses have been fitted to the aft section of the lower fuselage. They're really pushing the boat out with the work here, aren't they? Bloody hell. So now we've got that and a bag of screws left. Okay, let's have a look at 94. Alright, so I've got 94 here. I've still got the fuselage here on the bench. You can just see the edge of the towel that it's sat on. With mine, I've actually fitted all the front panels and the front canopy and everything, and then when you stand it upside down, you don't risk breaking the pilot's seat. So that's what I've done there. Right. Oh, and if you're thinking this is a filthy, dirty top, it is. This is my garage clothes I've got on. So that's why I don't usually walk around the house in filthy clothes. I can assure you, in fact, these are garage clothes which are clean on, so they're scruffy but clean. If I sat with what I've been doing on the Fiat lately, with all the cutting, grinding and welding, I would ruin my furniture, so the seat would be black. Right, so here we have pack 94, and according to the end of pack 93, it's more bases, more base parts. So lots and lots to go on with the base there. You can see the base is quite large. So here we go. Right, so we're going to crack on with the build with the base. When complete, your model will stand on a base and will be supported by 3 pillars, giving the impression that it is flying over the dam, even though it's got no crew in it. Henschel HS-129. I love this aircraft. It's such a beautiful little aircraft. Have I got one here? Yes, I have. Such a beautiful... I've got the Zuki Miura one in 30-second scale. Lovely. It was a potent anti-tank aircraft, although its slow speed resulted in heavy losses on the Eastern Front. So there we go, B1 and R2, a massive cannon on there. And then Elwood Quesada, the man who pioneered the use of tactical air power during World War II, especially in Normandy after D-Day. He's a US guy, was he? Okay, so that's that. And then in the next magazine, we're going to be getting another base side panel, some more bracketry, and then lots of little bits. Curved pipe, other pipes, motor mount, bomb bay hydraulic. Oh, this is for all the bomb bay. This is for the bomb. Right. So what we'll do, without further ado, we will go into here and we will see what we've got. I still have the base next to me. So we've got parts there. We've got some screws. More parts there. More screws. More parts. Box on the floor. No doubt Dottie will come and start chewing that any minute. I do admire Hachette's packaging. It is lovely. It really is very thoughtfully done. But the outer packaging they send these parcels out in is not sensible at all. Right, so we got those. We've got that one there. I've already got one of these here. I've got one here from the spares, not the spares box, but the kit box. I keep a box with all the kit parts in it. And then we've got more of these little joining pieces, if I can get the bloody bag. Oh, I hate these bloody bags, they're horrible. Right, and then we've got screws coming out of our ears. JP screws there, lots and lots of them. And then we've got KP screws there, we'll keep them in their bag separate. So, what we are going to do is 3 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those, yep, that's it. Right, so we're going to grab our base again. Why don't we just continue this? Why do they have to keep stopping with other stuff? So we're going to put it upside down. Why have they had us fit that now if we've got to put it upside down to put more of these on? That seems a bit silly. Okay, so this is going to go that way round like that. And then we're going to get this, and it's going to go like that. So I'm going to hang that over the edge of the bench so that it's not on that raised bit. And then this is going to go up under here. Do you know what they should have done is just left this off until the whole base is done, because now you've got to awkwardly put it on the bench and possibly break something. So that's got to go under there like that. I'll put the magazine on top so you can see what I'm doing. This is all very professional filming, as you can tell, guys, as you are witnessing before your very eyes. Professional filming at its best. Okay, and then that should go in there somehow. It doesn't seem to want to go. Okay, so what we're going to do here, just going to slacken off these 2 screws here. Get this out of the way. This is becoming a bit of a hindrance. Its size is going to become a... You see, this is the stupid thing about having that bloody thing screwed to the top. We can't push down on it without the risk of breaking it. Okay, we got there in the end. That took some jiggery pokery. But what I'm saying is we got this piece screwed on the top. It's daft, because now we could have a nice flat base like this on the bench, but we can't because we've got that piece on the back. So some person has decided to have that fitted prematurely, I'm afraid. So if you have got one of these, leave that bit off the top. You can always fit it at a later date. Okay, and then we are going to fit another one of these next to here. Again, making sure these go the right way, so you've got this pattern like that. Alright, and that one's going to go in there. Okay, and then what we're going to do here, you see what they've done here, they've turned it around just to confuse you. They've got a 2-piece there. That's going like that. And what we're going to do is attach that with 2 KP screws, sorry, JP screws. KPs are the longer ones. Alright, and then one more in there. Oh, that's it. Right, okay. And then we are going to fit along this edge here. So along this edge here. Okay, there's that piece of plastic in the bloody way again. I wish these people would think before they bloody do these instructions. It's easy when you're sat on a computer looking at a CAD model, but when you actually physically build the bloody thing, you can see now it's up in the air, so we run the risk of breaking stuff. So I've got that fuselage in the way still, thinking they're going to tell us to put the bottom on in this one, but they haven't. So we're going to fit one on here, one on here, and one on here, and that little one on the end there. Yeah, that's how that's going, isn't it? Yes. So I'm going to put a screw in here. Notice I've got my fingers underneath, guys, supporting it. Oh, jeez. I'm going to break the fuselage now. It's the same with those turrets with the guns sticking out, you know, it's just no thought. Just, you know, think about what you're doing. They should have had the guns as separate pieces that you know, make the guns and have the barrels glue in separately, but I guess with the fibre optics you can't do that. But I don't know about the rest of you, tell me in the comments, but I know I've broken one of my tail guns off, glued it back on, so that probably won't work now. But the nose guns they've been knocked a load of times. I can't believe they haven't broken off. And then we've got another two going in here. There, and then I think I'm off camera now. In fact, I know I'm off camera, so sorry about that. If I try and push it that way anymore, I'll break the fuselage, because the fuselage is in front of me. Right, so now we're going to turn it over. Oh, we're going to fit another piece on the other side. That's sensible, isn't it? I may as well put it on because the other one's on there. I don't really want to take it off because the plastic with the self-tap threads, it's not very tough. So this one is going, again, they're not being very clear. We need the one with the R on it, so that's this one here. And basically this is going to go, so we're over that joint there. So this is going to go there like that. Okay, so it's as clear as mud on there because it's a black CAD, black line, black. So we've got 4 holes there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're going to go into those 4 lugs there. Okay, so that's how that's going to go. Basically this should line up with that join, and the back of it should be staggered over like that. Okay, and then we're going to get our KP screws. Well, if we only got 3, we should have 5 surely. Did 2 roll off or something? It's a bit weird that they've given us 3 screws. We need 4. But we have a spare from last time. Very strange. Very unusual for Hachette to do that. Very strange. Okay, so I'll get my Lancaster tub. And in the top of here, there we go, I can see it right away. There should be a KP screw. There he is. Sitting there, ready to go in. And there you are, guys. Leave that bag open because we want to get that jar, should I say, sorry. We've got more screws to go in. Go on, go in. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Bloody bags. Right, so that's it. Panels and connectors have been fitted to the base assembly together with the pillar mount. Check the positions of the screw sockets carefully. Store the left pillar mount until it is needed. So there's the left one. There. Great. See you next month, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.